Okay, first of all, like I said, I want to start off by giving kudos to your leadership team at Global Rescue Direct. We had the opportunity last week to fly into Utah, and the entire focus of what we went there for was to see how we could make it better for every one of you as GBOs. The total focus of this training is to convey to you a system that we have put in place with this team out of the Dallas, Texas, Houston, predominantly Texas area of Global Rescue Direct. And I want to recognize the Leadership Council, Victoria Sherrar and Karen Walterson, Laurie and Hazley Ellen. We have all come together with the total focus of impacting each one of you. And you know, I've been in network marketing myself, and this is not the Denise show. I want you to understand that. But I've been at it long enough as I enter my 17th year this next month. We've been at it 17 years, and I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that in order to make a dime and a significant income, which I still live on today, 17 years into it, that we must make a difference, okay? Yes, this business is very exciting, but I believe Global Rescue Direct is one of the most different monsters that I've ever seen, which is unbelievably powerful in this arena. So as I go through the training this evening, I want you to understand that it was your leadership team that found value in this, and if we can all get on the same page and move forward, I think we're going to be a better company. We have had some significant success, and it's not been without great input from many, many people. I want to start off with our founder, Mr. Dan Richards. The first day I met him was July 6th, I believe, and he said something to me that is this statement right here: want your business to circle the globe. Had the opportunity to eat lunch with Dan, and he sat right next to me on my right-hand side, and he leaned on his left elbow, and he leaned over and he said, your organization will circle the globe. I don't know about you, but that's a pretty profound statement. And as I've been at this since June the 21st, I realize now what he's saying, okay? We do make a difference, and we make a definable difference here. And if we can impact you tonight and give you some of the same skills that we're using, Doug Robinson, the president of Global Rescue Direct, has spent, I don't know, probably 2 to 3 hours on his own, on his time, answering my questions and giving me at the deepest root of my gut. I get it now, and so I'm going to do my darn level best to convey it to you all tonight, because I think that once people see our heart, we are either part of the problem if we do nothing, or part of the solution. And I want to be part of the solution here because it's profound what we're doing. So what we did as a team, there are 2 people in our organization that I want to give kudos to as well. Not just 2, I could list any one of them for any number of reasons. But these 2 people really brought it home for me in realizing what we have our hands on and what it's doing. The first one that I want to talk about is Linda Hanks. Many of you have seen her video, and Linda has been at this. She worked in a law firm in Dallas as the HR person for the law firm. So she was in this all the time, and she really understood the whole insurance arena. And when Linda said, Denise, I spent a lot of time trying to help people realize that if they'll seek alternate solutions, perhaps they could make more money or save more money, okay? So I spent a lot of time with Linda really understanding it, and what I'm going to teach tonight is exactly a compilation of what she showed me and we used to do on tablet and paper. And the second person that may be she may think she's the farthest person ever to see this, but it is Sandra Donias. Sandra actually works in this arena in a medical physician's office. And the doctor's office that she's with is actually our first enterprise solution that's being launched. So it's very, very exciting for her as well as it is the cost savings that her physician's office that she works in is going to be able to enjoy as we enter 2017. Basically took them from roughly just over $100,000 a year to this enterprise to less than $45,000 a year implementing the total care solution. So it's a great change for the business. It's a great change for the employees, and we did it all with what I'm fixing to show you. So my hat's off to you two ladies. I thank you for educating me in order that I can now go out and educate other people. Okay, so the website that you're looking at right here, each of you can find it at findyourfreedom123.com. Findyourfreedom123.com. And I think that what really hit me was the depiction of an elephant. You know, the insurance monster that is sitting on so many families, they don't even know what to do. Most of them, and I am convinced, guys, that people are doing nothing because they don't know what to do. Number one, it's a choice between either eating or maybe it's a choice between insurance. Most people, when they don't know what to do in our business, they do nothing. They sit on it. They sit idle. And I want you guys to imagine yourself with an armor so big that if you can show them the numbers, that it is beneficial to them and their family, we can change a world, okay? And I believe we can move mountains. And that's exactly what we attempt to do. How I do business personally, and I know that some of the leaders in our organization, like Jimmy and Linda Hanks, Mike and Lynn Wells, these guys are out here doing this on a daily basis. We are meeting people right at the point of their need. And what we do is we will ask them if they have access to U.S. healthcare at a cost they can afford to pay. After I stand there and they will say yes or they will say no, one way or the other. And understand me, I'm giving you a generalization and because every situation is not exactly like this. Each of you are smart people and you will know, you'll begin to gauge as you do this when it's time to ask the next question or it's time to maybe back away. But I'm going to put into you words that nobody can argue with. For example, yesterday we had a gentleman come fix the heater in our home. And as he was leaving, I asked him, I said, Theodore, I said, do you have access to U.S. health care at a cost you can afford? And he said, oh, yes, Denise. He said, I actually work for a large firm. I just do this privately after hours. And I said, that's great. And I said, and the cost that you're paying, Theodore, is one that you can afford to pay, correct? And he said, yeah. He said, I'm always looking for better prices. Exactly. Okay. Right then is when I was able to say, well, I bet you're going to struggle with beating the price that we have that will solve 75 to 85% of your problems is $390 a year for a family of 8. And keep in mind, he had his hand on my doorknob leaving. He took his hand off the doorknob and stood up and he goes, now wait a minute. And I said, yeah, you heard me right. $390 for a family of 8, and that's per year. He said, better yet, he said, my sister's looking for something. Okay, once I got Theodore talking openly and freely to me, then I was able to say, well, hang on just a second. Let me send you a website that may help you better understand what we do. And once you review the information, I'll follow up with you, Theodore, and we can sit down and I'll show you the numbers that will impact you. It'll be your own numbers, and then we can move forward from there. Does that work well for you? At that time, he is openly and freely handing me his phone number, okay? And I take it and I put it in my cell phone at that point in time, okay? And I send him a link to the website for him to be able to go in and at his own comfort in his own home and do some research. Remember, friends, we're dealing with health care. This is a big decision for a lot of people, okay? And we at the root of all this are trying to professionalize a very unprofessional industry, okay? So when he comes here and I pull up the website with him on my phone and I show him right here, you're going to push the Learn How button. Okay, so when he pushes the Learn How button, it's going to take him right here to Global Rescue Direct's Revolution video, and it's going to take them to the Total Care explanation. As a business owner, I don't expect that those are going to be really the end-all, do-all for him, okay? So I'm very excited for him to get down here to what I call the details. The details is about 30 minutes. It's a 29-minute video, and once he gets to that point, it's basically going to bring up a video, and you guys can watch this from your own home, okay? It is generic. Lloyd and Denise Stevens do not make a dime by you sending anybody to this website, okay? So you have the utmost confidence that this is a solution for you, okay? So once now that Theodore has the information, when I follow up with him and we're going to sit across and present his real numbers, this is where it gets really, really powerful. Okay, and I want you all to also understand, Ryan Thompson says this, it may take you a time or two to do the follow-up, okay? Most people don't do what they say they're going to do. They mean well, I truly believe, but until their why is bigger than their how, a lot of times they don't do anything, all right? So what I'm trying to get to is this back office area up here, okay? Click through. You as business owners can do this on your own time. The home page is obviously the home page where we started. The vision is going to give them the vision of what we are trying to accomplish, okay? And the testimonials, this is where it's really awesome, guys, right here. A lot of this came off of our Sunday night call. This is where people can see the testimonials of various people that had used Global Rescue and Total Care services. Okay, the videos, these are audios right here of the various stories that are coming in. Okay, we also have a blog. I don't want to be a professional blog writer. If you're good at writing, God bless you. If you'll write it, I'll post it, I promise, okay? We just basically leverage off of some of the things that are available on the web, but this is all stuff that ties right back to our Total Care solution, okay? The Contact Us button, we go to great lengths to make certain that we know who sent them here. Nobody wants anybody else's business, and we practice the utmost ethics at all times, okay? So this is where someone would put their first name, their last name, their phone number, what message, what's their preferred method of contact, and what's the best time to call. I will tell you, I've been in this industry for 17 years. I have never, ever got a lead from somebody that has been misguided. That's 17 years, okay? We're going to do the right thing. So now let's jump into the best part of this, and the main focus of this training is back office. The back office tools are password protected because we don't want the average customer getting back here and seeing it. On my particular PC, I have already entered the password, okay? It's going to hang on to it for approximately 14 days. It's going to hang on to that password. So after about 14 days, that cookie on your computer expires. Don't sweat it. Here's the password to those of you GBOs on the phone. It is Frank, Yellow Frank 123. That's FYF 123, all lowercase. Okay? So on here, team calendar, you know what? You guys have events, shoot them to me if you want to use this team calendar. It's just basically a way for people to be able to know what's going on. We post the events, the Sunday evening call, the corporate call. Those things have already passed. That's why you don't see them on here, okay? You can play with this on your own time. Right here, This is where I help new GBOs get off and running very quickly. We have to remember, those of you that are taking the time out this evening to be on this training, you're the leaders. You're the ones that are going to take this to a new level, okay? So it is vital that we try to help those that maybe don't have someone that is actively pursuing the business. We don't want to leave anybody behind that truly wants this business, okay? We've just defined in our organization some tasks. I'll show you what they are. May seem a little bit crazy. We call it the Wheel of Fortune. What is the Wheel of Fortune? If you click on this, this is where we're going to bring up some of the fundamental things for people to get really familiar with. We want to tell them, number one, about the website that you and I are looking at right now, and understand that these are links that are live within this document, okay? So we introduce them to this website. We introduce them to the back office. We teach them the apps to go download that they're going to need on their cell phone. Their business app, okay, as we say right here, the business back office. Also, the My Global Rescue, which is their service app. We want to make certain that they get in communication with WhatsApp. This keeps them in communication with you, their leader, as well as Global Rescue Direct and the corporate office, okay? Then that's where we spend time helping them understand the calculator. I'm getting there. The calculator right here is our biggest business tool. We put them in touch with training, Facebook pages, YouTube videos, and then teach them, this is now we're going to begin sharing with people, okay? So now let's jump over. I want to show you that because our business is testimony-based and we're going to knock it out of the park as we saw this past Sunday night, this is a new form that just went up this evening, and this is where you or anyone, maybe it's a customer and you, the GBO, fill this out. We're going to let them know that we are looking for their testimonies. Guys, I say it to my organization all the time. I will make millions off of their stories, okay? And we want to help you do the same thing. And just like Dan Richards commonly says, at the end of the day, making money in this industry is profound, but we better make a difference before we make a dollar. So this right here gives people the opportunity to volunteer their story. Takes about 2 to 3 minutes to do, and boom, they become one of the testimonies that we have in our back office, okay? So right here on the testimonials page. So right here, I'm going to go back to the home page, and now we're going to begin the piece on the calculator. Audio, video, and helpful documents. Let me back, before I hit the calculator, helpful documents right here. This is a plethora of documents that are easily accessible for you. Membership options, English and Spanish, the PVs, travel service options. You can see these are just things that we have put together that actually help people begin to build their business and learn from, okay? So let me get now to the most significant piece of this entire training. We call it the calculator. And I want you to keep in mind that this all stemmed from Linda Hanks putting it on notebook paper and writing it all out. As you, as GBOs, begin to make use of this, I want you to be set up for success right from the beginning, okay? So have these documents that are going across the top, go in and have them already open in your internet browser. What do I mean by that? Well, membership options in English. If you hover your mouse over that image and right-click, it will give you the option to open the link in a new tab. Open that one. Do the same thing here. Hover over it, right mouse click, open that one. Do you see these things are opening across the top? Okay? Insurance pyramid, open that. Blink Health, open that. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let me Let me get back to where I was. Rats. It's okay. Bear with me, guys. I hit my little, I fat-fingered it pretty fast. I'm sorry. Let me get this motor started again. Bear with me just 1 second. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, there we go. So we've got our insurance pyramid. So I want you to see here, I've got all of these things opening up across the top as I go through this, okay? Here's Blink Health. And right here are some of the things in terms of from the IRS's perspective to answer questions. Okay, so before my customer gets on this gets on the call with me, I am going to show that I'm going to have everything set up. I encourage each of you to go ahead and put your name right here. In this case, mine would be Denise Stevens. Okay, go ahead and put your GBO in here. Okay, your GBO number. Okay, whatever yours is. And then whatever phone number that you want your customer or potential customer to contact you at. We have built what's called in computer talk a lookup table. And I want you to focus when I enter a value, when I select something right here, I want you to look at right here. It'll populate right here. I'm going to choose and have it already set up GBO Family Silver Annual. Okay, that can change as I talk to them. Notice how it has put the value in here already for their membership, for that membership. So you don't have to worry about the costs. They're already pre-calculated for you based on what the company gives us in terms of cost. Okay, so I have asked Mike Wells. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it or not. Mike, are you able to unmute yourself down out of Houston?
Can you hear me, Denise?
Mike, I can hear you fantastic. Yes, that's great. Mike is very experienced at using this, and so I want you to understand that he's in Houston and I'm in Dallas. I do this all over. Literally, you can do this from the comfort of your home, and your customer is in the comfort of their home. It's powerful. I say it all the time that you can put on a little bit of lipstick and put your hair up, put a shirt on, and you look all pro, okay? The days of kind of running around like a crazy woman seem to be becoming a thing of the past, except for large group meetings and things of that sort. So if I'm working with Mike, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, Mike, thank you so much for spending the next few minutes with us. I can't wait for you to see these numbers. I think you're going to be truly, truly surprised. Before our conversation, when we were getting on, I asked you to bring to the table what you're currently paying in terms of your monthly premium. Do you have that number available, Mike?
I do. It's $863 a month.
$863 a month?
Yes.
Great. Do you know what your deductible is, Mike? What do you
yeah, it's $6,000.
$6,000 annual deductible. Oh my goodness, Mike. Oh wow. Without going any further, Mike, I want you to look down here at the bottom. Guys, this is what's so profound. Let me see if I can get this annotation tool. I tell you what, you talk about feeling like a kindergartner. This is exactly what I feel like when I'm talking or when I use this tool. Right here is so tremendous. When people are like, so Mike, basically, you're paying right now with nothing more over $16,000 a year. Let me ask you something, Mike. Are you and your family fairly healthy?
Yeah, we hardly ever go to the doctor.
I know. Aren't these astonishing prices that we're having to pay just for a just-in-case scenario?
Yep.
It's kind of crazy. Okay,
yeah.
So now I'm going to ask Mike. Okay, Mike, can you please tell me, do you have a co-insurance on your plan? And when I say co-insurance, sometimes people will refer to it as your 80-20 up to a certain amount, 70-30 plan, what that number is?
I do. It's actually $6,000 a year as well.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let me just explain to you what's going on there, and you probably know that. Let's just say you have a surgery that's a $10,000 surgery. Well, the first thing that's going to happen is they're going to call your insurance company, and they're going to see that you haven't yet met your deductible, so be prepared to write them a $6,000 check. And then if it's a $10,000 surgery, you've got an 80-20 plan, you're going to pay 20% up to $6,000 of the remainder of that surgery. So you're going to be out a pretty penny with or without Global Rescue, just based on the policy that you've just explained to me. Mike, what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of begin to think about, my goodness, $22,356 a year is what your exposure is right now. Do you understand what I mean when I say exposure?
Yeah.
Well, okay, just in case Mike didn't understand, for those of you learning, that means Mike is going to have to pay up to $22,000 of major medical, even with an insurance payment as high as $863 a month, okay? So this is where I'm going to come up here to United Healthcare, all right? That's here in Texas. And I'm going to say, Mike, let's just kind of play around with, as we begin to rethink your health care and begin to see what we can do to save you some money. Mike, do you mind giving me your zip code, please?
Sure. It's 77429.
I did not hear you, Mike. It is real muffled.
Okay, 77429.
Awesome. Okay. All right. And that's Harris County. And this is going to be
Correct.
for you alone, Mike, or you and your wife? I believe you told me you were married.
Right. Me and my wife both.
Okay. It does not matter would you please give me what year you're born, please?
1958.
1958. Okay. And do you use tobacco?
No.
Okay. And your wife, I'm just going to put this in here, and she's going to be born, we're going to say, in 1962. If I were working with Mike, I would ask him what his wife's year is as well. Okay. Tobacco use, Mike, for your wife?
No.
Okay, fantastic. Let's just jump out here and look, and this is just a sample. Now, let me explain something to you on the phone. I'm not trying to be an insurance agent, okay? I don't want to be. But I work with an insurance broker that can help them with all of these issues. This has been awesome for us because he knows the details of all of that. I'm able now to hit view plans and knock the socks off of it by taking them to a solution that is more in tune. Look at this, guys. A $10,000 deductible with a $10,000 copay is only $240 a month, okay? And that's with a 70-30. They're doing it this way, and I'm going to just plug these numbers in for example, but keep in mind that working with Mike, I could scroll all the way down to the bottom, pay a little bit more, and still reduce his outlay, okay? These plans are what are called high deductible, low monthly premiums, all right? That's the rethinking piece right there. So if Mike is concerned about his outlay, he could pay a little bit more money, like in this plan right here, if he wanted to, or he could just say, you know what, we don't go to the doctor. This is what worked for Lloyd and Denise. This is when I saw this is what made me really think. So just for fun, I'm going to use these numbers right here and try to get as close to this as what they currently pay. So we're going to put in 10,000, 10,000, 240, 60. So I'll go back to my calculator. 240, 60 is what it said. Annual deductible, $10,000, just a little bit higher. Co-insurance, $10,000. Okay? Look at this, guys. If I rethink it, Worst case scenario is $23,327 versus what he's currently paying, $22,356. Okay, have almost the same exposure, but look at this monthly savings right down here, friends. Look at this. Currently paying $863, rethinking going to be paying $240.60. That is an estimated monthly savings percentage of 72%. You think I don't have him thinking at this point? Okay, I'm going to stop right there, and you can look. I want to open it up to those of you on the phone and take your questions, or maybe there's those of you in the room. Your questions are valuable. You'll have to unmute yourself, but be conscientious of that. Once you complete your question, please remute yourself so that we can get a great recording to make a great educational experience. So jump in here and ask any questions if you have any. Feel free. There's not a stupid question here, team. There's not a stupid question. Karen, there should be.
Denise, I just wanted to let you know I have a room full of GBOs here and no one has any questions. They've all said it's so straightforward. They love it. They could have used it a week ago, a month ago, 3 months ago, and they're just thrilled. Does anyone? Thank you so much, Denise.
Hey, listen, we are going to win this battle, guys. We are going to win it. I'm thrilled. And you know what? Don't have any fear in going back to people that you've already visited with. You know what I'm saying? And say, listen, if you'll give me 5 minutes of your time, did each of you see, if you could take the amount of time I really spent, more of my time was explaining to you all than it was actually getting the numbers derived, because Mike came to the table knowing what I needed because I adequately explained that to him before our call. Okay, so that right there is going to be tremendous. And you're going to have so much confidence, guys. When I saw the exposure, I mean, you look at Mike in this example, Mike's exposure is the same. Let me see if I can get my darn little, oh, Lord, here we go. This is crazy, the annotation tool. I don't have a touch screen right now. But if you look at these numbers right here, annotate, bear with me 1 second. If you look at these two numbers, we're talking less than $1,000 difference, same exposure, and I can pay 72% less monthly? Really? Okay, this is huge. And just think of, and this is with the GRD membership at the Silver Plan. If I'm dealing with someone that's relatively healthy, I'm not about the money. I will make tremendous money, as will each of you, because we will make a tremendous difference in the lives of a lot of people, okay? We oftentimes say it, I make a lot of money, or I make a little bit of money from a whole lot of people, okay? So don't discount that value. Great statement. Thank you, Karen. And hey, Team Utah, let's boogie is all I can say. That's awesome. Somebody else have a question. Please feel free to chime in. I'm giving you guys this time because I want you to be the most educated, best dressed, so that we match our actions with the service that we have and never embarrass one another or never embarrass our company.
Hey, Denise, this is Mike.
I have a question.
Okay, Mike.
I just wanted to point out, too, everybody needs to be cognizant when they're talking to their potential customers, that find out if they're aware of maybe some medical issue, say for like the next year. You plan on having a knee replacement or something like that, and to take that into account when you're looking at your premiums and your deductibles.
Absolutely. This is where, guys, like I told you in the beginning, I think we are such a different opportunity, okay? I have no interest in becoming an insurance salesman. In fact, I tell the guy, Kevin, he's a friend of ours that I work with, I don't have a whole lot of respect for them because a lot of them don't do what they say they're going to do. And let me tell you something about our industry. It's very powerful because you're either pitiful or powerful, and that's on how good of a job you care about that person. And at the end of the day, I don't want them to have a bad taste in their mouth that I've sold them a bag of goods. This is a life-changing experience, as you can hear from some of the testimonies. So once again, we're back to tremendous confidence as we deliver a very powerful solution at a very needed time in our country. Somebody else, I think, was trying to chime in. Feel free to join us.
Hi, Denise.
Yes.
Hey, my question is, I was on the road driving, and I just got home and turned the computer on. Is this going to be, this presentation's recorded, the video part, so I can rewatch it from beginning?
You are just in luck, honey. You are in luck. Yes, ma'am. We thought of people like yourself that are having to work for a living or maybe just weren't available to be online. Yes, ma'am. It is available. And I believe the company is going to send out a blast tomorrow to each of you so that you can play it in its entirety.
Perfect.
Denise?
Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. Yes.
Denise?
Yes?
My question is, does it work as well for people who are receiving their health insurance through their companies, where, of course, they don't have a $6,000 co-insurance?
Yes, as you can see, I'm getting like overexcited. I want to just jump up, and I mean, I run on high octane fuel about this because Doug Robinson and Dan Richards and that leadership team, yes, sir. Let me explain to you what it's done. As a matter of fact, my precious friend, Mike's wife, Lynn, she is still in the corporate world, and she, because of Global Rescue Direct and because of Linda Hanks and Sandra Dunias and this calculator, she has been able to, what she did when it came time for her company, for her to identify her health insurance, which a lot of people are doing now, here's what she did. It's exactly what the doctor's office is doing. She is making monthly payments into a health savings account. That was one of the options offered by her employer. How is she able to do that? Because I'm just going to estimate that maybe there's $400 to $600 a month now going into her bank account through her employer, okay? And so at the end of the year, let's say it's $600 a month that the employer is giving that health saving or contributing her own money into that health savings account instead of paying $860 a month, as the example up here was showing. Instead of paying $863 a month now, she's putting $600 in an HSA, which means at the end of the year she has $7,200, right? Well, I bet you if she had a medical emergency, maybe her well woman care or Mike's physical, whatever you call it, I bet having $7,200, I bet you they can negotiate a pretty nice cash price. I've been doing that for 16 years, guys. As an entrepreneur, it is crazy. We oftentimes think outside of the box, okay? So being able to take that person that maybe they're paying $400 to $600 or $700 a month for their family and say, do you have the option to put it in a health savings account? We have a guy exclusively at one of the cities around here that at one of the grand openings of the Chamber of Commerce, he said that. He said, all I have is an HSA. I said, you are just in luck, okay? So absolutely, anytime that you can divert those monies to your own money, are you kidding me? You get the tax advantages, you have control over your expenses, and you're not making these big payments to these big insurance companies that, let me show you this, guys. Let me just show you in their own words. Here's how much they think of you right here. Isn't that special? They know 97.6% of the people that have insurance will never meet their deductibles. I don't know about y'all, but that jazzes me to say, come here, precious. Let me take you somewhere that you've never been, because I have my hands on the mother lode that can help you, help your family, and help keep that money in your account. Is this not awesome, guys? Look at these numbers. In one of the presentations on the website that you have access to, we talk about one of our business partners, Deborah Anderson, she brought it up. You know, she's a real math person. She said, you know, she said, you have a greater chance of winning a round of American roulette in Vegas than you do meeting your deductible. It was like it was an epiphany for me. Okay? So this is just a way of demonstrating the power that they know. They know. So as Mike and Lynn make those high monthly payments, they know the likelihood of Lynn and Mike reaching their deductible is less than 3%. It's kind of nauseating, isn't it, guys?
Must be like.
But we're getting really super educated about this. Thank you to Dan and Doug. So,
hey, Denise, this is Adrienne. How are you?
I'm great, honey. How are you?
I'm good. Can I ask you a quick question about that statistic? Where did that, I see at the bottom it came from Freedom Life Insurance Company of America.
Yes.
Is that, okay. So,
Yes, that is a great question. I'm sorry I cut you off. Go right ahead.
no, go ahead. You're good.
I was just going to say that I have the PDF on my PC, the whole document. That was actually on page 2 of their document that they emailed me to try to get me to be one of their customers. Okay? When I saw that, I thought, well, perfect. Sing to me, sister. We got this. You're telling me that you know already that the likelihood of me using your service is less than 3%, and yet you're wanting to charge me $600 and $800 a month? Well, no, not going to do it. You know, but I have no problem. I can put that whole PDF out there in the back office so that you guys can have the entire document that is straight from Freedom Life Insurance Company of America.
Yes. And no, I mean, this is, and yeah, the work that you all have done is just phenomenal. And I wanted to go back to the calculator and ask a question because I think it might come up when we're talking to patients who are pregnant, you know, who are expecting. Can we do like a different scenario for a surgical patient on this? Because they're going to look at this and go, okay, this looks too good to be true. You know, my wife's pregnant, so how does that work? You know, and what am I going to end up paying? Even though, you know, they can pay with their HSA. And even though they're...
Great question. That is a super question. In that case, they're going to have to make a decision. As we look at right here, please forgive me. I'm going to have to ask your name again because of the computer, I didn't hear it.
Oh, it's Adrienne. I'm sorry.
Adrienne. No, my apologies. All right, Adrienne. Great question. If you look at these exposure rates that we're talking about, okay, whether they have insurance or not, those deductibles are going to have to be met. Okay, so if through their employer, for example, they've got a $6,000 deductible, they're going to have to meet that $6,000. And then if they have an 80-20 or a 70-30, go ahead and add 20% if it's 80-20 or 30% if it's 70-30 of the remaining balance up to $6,000. Okay, so you're always just using their own numbers to educate them. A lot of people do not understand this. If they're going to try to get pregnant next year, and that's their goal, then when we are going through these memberships, we might guide them to do something that is more cost effective for them, Adrienne. Maybe a $2,500 and make this go to $5,000, okay? Maybe they pay $385.50 a month, okay? We can put those numbers in. Let's do that right now. $385.50. Debbie, remember my numbers. $25, wasn't it? And then the co-insurance was $5,000. Okay? So look at that. You see what happened, Adrienne? She's still 10 grand ahead by rethinking. Okay? And monthly, I bet this would buy a few baby diapers and baby food for a family. You know? Paying $385 versus $863. Are you serious?
Well, you know, if we can HSA to pay for diapers, we'd be in really good shape.
Okay. I'm going to, did I answer your question, Adrian?
Yes, you did. Thank you, Denise.
Of course, of course. And you know what, if you have, I will open myself up to help you guys. Victoria and Karen, they all know how to get a hold of me. Text me, ask me the question, because I'm telling you, I have yet to see a situation that we can't knock it out of the park. The only situation that you can't fix, and Jimmy Hanks gave me this sign, and I mean no disrespect, but you can't fix stupid, okay? That's one thing, and I'm not meaning anybody is stupid, but if they don't want to listen, if you can't listen, my grandmother said, you can sure feel. So all we can do is lead them to the numbers and help to impact them, let them see eyeball to eyeball, and I want each of you to understand something. Let me jump out here and take Rick's question real quick, and then I'll go from there. Let me see if I can, I'm going to unmute, let me find Rick. Hold on just a moment. I'm going to try to find you, Rick. Bear with me just a second. There you are. Okay, Rick, talk to us, brother. Hi, Rick, you're live.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, Rick. Go right. Rick, we can hear you. Okay, if perhaps you guys can help me out with Rick, if you can get the question, I'm more than willing to help him. Another question, does someone else have a question? Okay, I'll go ahead and I want to tell each of you that at the end of the day, I truly think that people, they don't care how much you know, they want to know how much you care. And if you are getting phone calls from, say, insurance people right now, I don't know how it is in all the states across the country, but I can tell you here in Texas, they're on us like stink on food. If they call you, introduce the solution to them. They're in insurance. I'll tell you why. I have a guy right now that I've never met, and he's referring people to me that cannot afford his solution, all right? And so you don't ever know who might need what we have and be able to use what we have. And make no mistake about it, guys, it is where this country is. People are hurting. And I'm working right now with a gentleman out of Florida who is an attorney, and he has to save up for a $440 membership. But because I've shared the opportunity with him, he's grateful, okay? So I'm going to be able to take him places he's never been. But the only way I'm going to be able to do that is if he will work with me and partner with me to make a difference in the world. Because our income, there is a direct correlation between the number of lives we change and the income that we earn. Okay, so I'm really jazzed about this. Any other questions that I can offer for, or answer for you all? I'm glad that it's been so easily understood. And at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie. I think we can all see that. And asking somebody for 5 minutes of their time, if they see the numbers, great, we can move forward. If they don't, that's okay too. Oh, we have a question in the room. Oh yes, let me help you guys with this. Thank you, Deborah. I have Einstein in the room. I'm telling y'all, I just surround myself with unbelievably quality people like you guys on the phone, so we have a tremendous solution. I want to show you up here at the top, remember all of the things that I was opening up when we started. One of the most key things is a website called blinkhealth.com, okay? This right here is kind of phenomenal, where if someone takes a lot of prescriptions, none of us have any control over that, okay? But I can tell you right now that they can put in, for example, the drug name, that they're using. Type it in here. Deborah, give me one. I'll just do Flexerel, for example. Right here is Flexerel. This is just happens to be a muscle relaxer. It's going to find it, and look at this. Look at this price. I mean, $6.89. They're looking at a quantity of 30 tablets. Average retail is $15.50. You can do this from the comfort of your home. They have an app. It is the most simple thing to use. Deborah in our organization used it just a couple of days ago, and she was explaining to me that when she got to the pharmacy, she simply showed them that she had already paid for her prescription on this app. The pharmacy took that and handed her the prescription. So we could do a whole training centered around this, but it'd be about a 3-minute training. So just small things like that make a tremendous difference so that people know we're trying to bring them a broad-based solution. And none of us can doubt the fact that this device right here is literally revolutionizing most everything we do. I think each one of you would agree with that. So let's see here if we can get, here's a question coming from Rick. Oh, okay. Yes, Helen, we do have someone that does have, we are getting some background noise. Let me just go in and mute everyone again. I believe it was perhaps someone that was trying to come in and ask a question. So, okay, this is from Nancy. How do you unmute your phone? You should see, and if you're on Zoom, you should see a little microphone down in the bottom corner. Let me see if I can unmute you right now. You should simply be able to just, let's see here. There should be it looks like a microphone, and it will have a red slash going through it. Or hit *6. That will unmute you. Here's Rick's question. Is the purpose of the comparison specifically to demonstrate to the subject that we can reduce his monthly payment, gain his confidence to introduce him to total care? Great question, Rick. Yes. Okay. Most people, Rick, are paying high monthly premiums and going to the doctor once a year for their well check. Okay. We know with Total Care that we're going to be able to solve 3/4 plus of all their health care needs if we're dealing with someone that is not terribly sick, okay? But even those that are ill, having the convenience with common medical issues does not preclude them from having our service. But yes, the whole thing is to show them the numbers of how we potentially could save them a lot of money, a lot of time on their health care needs, and improve the quality and major improve the accessibility of that care. So, Rick, I'm going to wait and heed to you to make certain that I've answered your question. Okay. Let's see here, Daniel. Can you walk us through the process as we refer people to the website? Can they sign up there, or do we still need to use our own website? Absolutely. From the website, Daniel, on the home page, and you can hit the home. You can hit up here, the Global Rescue Direct little icon here. From a computer that has not logged in. Let me get back to the home here. Okay. Down at the very bottom where it says join our team, if you've never been there, I've been there several times. Join our team is going to put up for them a box that's going to prompt them. So when you do it from your computer, it will look different than mine. It's going to prompt them for the GBO number. Okay. It does not on mine. I've been there many times. All right. So when they go there, as you can see, it takes them straight to Global Rescue to enroll. Try it from your machine, and you will see your enroller ID where it says enroller ID. Thank you, Rick. I'm glad I answered your question. Daniel, let me know if I adequately answered your question. Any other questions, guys? It's 8:56 Dallas time. I know some of you on the East Coast. Helen says, where were the videos that I showed earlier? Once you start playing with the system, guys, it's going to become intuitive to you. If you go to findyourfreedom123.com, this big old fat elephant is the key. Always click on Learn How right there. Learn how to circle the globe. Learn how healthcare elephant is suffocating you. Press that Learn How button right there in the middle, and there are your 2 videos, and then here's your more detailed video for someone to gain more information. So take the time, know your tool, basically. I know the thing like the back of my hand, and I would encourage each of you to do the same thing, okay? Know your tool, so that if I'm talking to Mike and I'm out and about, I know exactly. I'll say, Mike, when you go to my website, you're going to see a big fat elephant. And honey, isn't that exactly what this healthcare is like? An elephant sitting on our chest to the point that we can't breathe? Right under the fat elephant, Mike, you're going to see a button that says Learn How. Okay, right there, guys. So that's what you press. So it's very simple. You're going to get better at it. Be okay with learning. There's nothing so far, guys. Trust me, I did this very thing. The video that you're going to watch right here as you press Learn How and the more detailed presentation where it says Get Details, I did that presentation, which I know is very similar to the champions in Utah in Victoria and Karen. I did that very presentation for the 22 employee doctor office in Fort Worth, Texas. So you guys can do this. I'm not magic. I just have a sincere passion to help people. And at the end of the day, they see that I'm truly trying to help them, and that is my goal, because if I don't make a difference, I don't need the dollar bad enough. So it's 8:59. We're going to conclude this call. I appreciate all of you and your comments. They're invaluable. Thank you so much for sharing them. And let's get out here and let's make 2017 a better year for many families and your family as well. And get back with your leader. I know because of the size of our company that we're headed for greatness. At Global Rescue Direct, it's a new day. It is a new day. We are unbelievably committed to every one of your successes, and I don't take it lightly, okay? So from Dallas, Texas, we're going to wrap this meeting up. I hope we've added value to your life. Victoria and Karen, Hayes and Laurie, I'm going to jump back to each of you and see if there's anything that any one of you have that you want to add to this.
Unmute.
Denise.
Yes, ma'am. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Karen.
Here, we're both here. And we just want to tell you, you so over-delivered. It was exceptional. We are juiced. I have GBOs in here saying, oh my gosh, I can't even, you know.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, people are so excited and so grateful to you, and I wanted to say that, and you're such a heart-centered person, and it blew us away. You did a terrific job, and we will do everything we can to support this, and we are so thankful that you built this website. I don't know that people know that you built this website. This website alone is like a $20,000 website, and this woman built it on her own. So we owe her a incredible debt of gratitude, and just thank you, Denise, and thank you for your openness, and thank you for your passion, which just resonates magnificently through this webinar tonight. So We love you.
Love you. We're so thankful.
Well, you know what, Victoria, thank you all so much. You can see these are the people that have been here. They're in the streets. They've put it to the test. There is no question we have our hands on something. And I just appreciate the opportunity, the belief that Global Rescue Direct has found in us. And I really can't stress to you how committed we are to you and to your success. And every one of you are very, very valuable. And you know what? Guess what? If you have a story today or someone on your team does, go out there in that back office on the GBO page, get them out there. This is how we'll win the battle, guys. The stories. The stories tell it all. And if we can hammer it story after story after story, who the same hill can argue with success, right? So let's go. Let's take it to the world. And join us on Sunday night. We're going to have an awesome call again. It is a recruiting focused call. Doug Robinson, I'm going to throw some questions at him. And you know what? I value your input. If you're constantly getting questioned by somebody, throw it up here to me, okay? Send a contact us message to me. Let me know that you're a GBO. And I'll throw that question at him, because if it's your question, team, it's somebody else's as well. And let's take this to a whole new level. We are first, and there are millions of people hurting tonight that don't know where their next meal is going to come from or what decision they're going to make. And I saw it out of the great state of Florida, working with an attorney who doesn't have $440. So don't buy into it, guys. Let's take it to the world. So from Dallas, Texas, good night, everybody, and God bless.
Thank you, Denise.
Wait at them, guys.
Hi, Karen. Hi, Victoria.